There are two ways to draft a princess bust that. Hold up, let me show you. So first off, we're going to start with doing the shoulder measurement and having a slope from the neckline down to where you had your shoulder measurement by 1 inch. Then we'll curve our neckline, which is actually not necessary. You can do that when you're done with your whole draft. So then I'm taking my nipple to nipple line, which is my vertical line. Afterwards, I take my horizontal lines, which represents my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, and my waistline. This particular draft is a half cut, so I'm not going down to the hip measurement. Okay, it's stopping at the waistline. So on both waistline, I'm taking on the under bust line, and on the waistline I'm taking 1 and 1 from my nipple to nipple line. I'm just going to take one from the left side of the nipple line and one from the right side of the nipple line, which is making it 1 and 1. Okay, afterwards you can see I get my chest line, create a mark where my armhole curve is going to stop. Okay, and then using my French curve to create the curves for the bust. So this is just a way of contouring the under bust for it to give us that effect of a fitted blouse. Okay, next we are going to go ahead and draw our armhole curve, because we need this curve to place our princess dart. Okay, so you just get half of the armhole curve, the middle point of the armhole curve, you mark there and connect with the straight side of your pattern master. Okay, so as you can see, I came down by 1 inch and used the slopey side of the pattern master to connect to the bust as well, and I redrew my armhole. And then after that, I take my measurements, the bust measurement on the chest line, add 1.5 inch allowance. I'm not taking the measurement on the bust point. Okay, so I go down to under bust, take my measurement. As you can see, I'm jumping my darts, so you don't include the darts when you're taking these measurements. And then I go down to my waistline, take my measurement, jump the dart, take my measurement, and added 1.5 inch allowance, as you can see. So afterwards, you shade your darts in order for you to know where you're throwing away and the part you're going to be using to create whatever you're making. Okay, so this is how I create a princess bust dart for someone with a smaller breast cup. Another way of drafting a princess bust dart is this way. You take your shoulder measurement, and then on the shoulder measurement you go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope and mark where your armhole depth is ought to be. After doing that, you take your bust measurement, just a dot will do, mark there and draw your armhole curve. Okay, so now after doing this, we're going to take our vertical line. We're going to illustrate our vertical line, but this time around you're taking your nipple to nipple minus 0.5 inch, meaning if your nipple to nipple is 3.5, this time around you're going to take 3. Or if your nipple to nipple is 4.5, you're going to take 4. If your nipple to nipple is 3.5, you're taking 3. Okay, then we're ruling our vertical line straight up from the breast point down to our waistline. After you've done this, go ahead and mark your breast point, your under bust line, and also your waistline, and you can go ahead and label it as well so that you don't get confused. So from the nipple to nipple line we have present here, we're going to go away from it by 2 inches. Coming back to our armhole, we are taking the middle point of the armhole and we're connecting it with our French curve, with our pattern master, to our breast point. Okay, so after doing this, the same method of coming down by 1 inch or 1.5, whichever one you use. If you're working with a busty person, if you're sewing for a busty person, you can take 1.5. You come down by 1.5 and create another armhole. Then you go to the under bust, take a straight line from the place you had your cuff straight down, while the other nipple to nipple line still stays the same way. Okay, after this, take your measurement. Don't forget to jump your darts, mark the darts, add your allowance on your pattern paper if you want, or you can as well add it to the fabric itself. So that is that, guys. Connect the lines. It's just like plotting a graph. Connect the lines together, and then you can now come and draw your neckline. Remember, I told you it's not necessary to do the neckline at the beginning when you're doing, depending on the style of neckline you want to do. So afterwards, you shade your darts, remember, to know the places we are going to throw away and the place we are going to use. So this is it. This is how I draft a princess bust dart for a busty person, while the other one is drafting, that's how I draft for a smaller bust. So we've come to the end of the class. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to get notifications from us when we post a new video. Thank you for watching. Bye.